file has been compiled and recorded by Dustin Cormier, a Scorpio born in the year of the Metal Ram, 1991, and in the hour of the Rat. The Dragon, called in traditional Chinese the Chen branch, born 1952, 1964, 1976, 1988, 2000, 2012, and 2024. The direction appointed to the dragon is east-southeast. Dragon is a yang wood element animal sign. Its season is spring and its principal month is April. The dragon is the fifth animal in the Chinese Zodiac. The following information comes from Taoist Astrology, a handbook of authentic Chinese tradition by Suzanne Levitt with Jean Tang. Copyright by Suzanne Levitt and Jean Tang, 1997. I do not own the following content. The Dragon Year. In the West, the dragon is a hideous beast who symbolizes the worst moral qualities of humanity. According to European medieval legends, brave knights fought dragons, the foes of virtue. When St. George of Cappadocia, a Roman soldier, slew the dragon, he killed all that was ugly in Christendom. Dragon was often seen as the devil himself, diabolical Satan, as in this quotation from Revelation 12:7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. In Asian cultures, the qualities of dragon are the opposite of European interpretations. Dragon is not an evil, malefic enemy. Instead, dragon symbolizes royalty, prosperity, wisdom, and benevolence. Dragon has magnanimous and spiritual qualities and is a protector of temples and monasteries. Dragon has magical attributes because dragon can change shape and transform himself into any type of creature. Dragon brings rain and represents masculine yang power. In China, the celestial dragon, Tianlong, protects the gods and goddesses in heaven. Tianlong flies through the sky, chasing the sun. Dragon is a mythological creature. In ancient times, primordial humanity may have worshipped or been in awe of serpents and the sun. The development of the imaginary dragon fulfilled a role in the psyche of ancient peoples. The year of the dragon is a time of ambition, power, and daring. Events seem as if they are magnified threefold with increased intensity. The energy and vitality of the dragon year may make some people overly optimistic. A dragon year is an excellent time to start a business, marry, have children, and take incredible risks. On a global level, expect extreme earth changes such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and tidal waves. The dragon's triangle of affinity, the fire triangle, also called the doers of the cycle. The dragon is part of the first triangle of affinity, a group consisting of positive people identified as doers. The rat, the dragon, and the monkey are performance and progress-oriented signs, adept at handling matters with initiative and innovation. Self-starters, they prefer to initiate action, clear their paths of uncertainty and hesitation, and forge ahead with leadership. Restless and short-tempered when hindered or forced to be unoccupied, they are full of dynamic energy and ambition. This trio is the melting pot of ideas. They can team up beautifully because they possess a common way of doing things and will appreciate each other's method of thinking. The dragon will have his most serious personality clashes with someone born in the year of the dog. Anyone whose ascendant is the dog will also be likely in conflict with the dragon. In the circle of conflict, the dragon and the dog are 180 degrees apart. The dragon faces east, while the dog is oriented to the west. The dragon is identified with spring, while the dog's season is autumn. Finally, the natural element for the dragon is wood, while its opposite, metal, is the dog's natural element. Since metal cuts wood, relationships between these two signs are not always successful. Aside from the most compatible partners, the rat and the monkey, and the most incompatible sign, the dog, the other 9 signs are compatible with the dragon to varying degrees. Dragon personality. Dragon was the most sacred and mystical animal throughout thousands of years in Chinese history. Dragon was associated with imperial majesty. For example, the chair on which a Chinese emperor sat was referred to as the dragon chair, and the robe a Chinese emperor wore was called the dragon robe. person born in a dragon year is blessed by the gods and goddesses in heaven. Dragon has strong karma to lead and succeed. This is why, during a dragon year, the population in China increases significantly. A dragon's son is preferred because he will go forth in the world, overcome obstacles, succeed, and return to the family and increase their fortune. A dragon daughter is not desired because a female dragon won't submit willingly to the Confucian 3 virtues for women that demand obedience to father, husband, and in old age the eldest son. Sometimes a dragon woman is feared by society because she is an independent thinker and strong believer in equal rights. She is not afraid to take charge. Some men find the dragon woman intimidating because she has a strong personality and possesses abilities that can suppress male peers. Dragon is full of life, bravery, and intensity. He is a fighter who won't easily allow defeat. Extremely independent and freedom-loving, the dragon needs an environment that allows the liberty to express creativity and nurture personal growth. Passionate and direct dragon can't tolerate pretentious behavior in people. Run by his heart and emotions, dragon is often an exquisite lover whose smoldering sexuality attracts many suitors. A dreamer, dragon loves adventures and believes that he is destined to achieve great success. Dragon wants to make a huge impact on the world. If dragon takes action to realize dreams, there is no limit to the heights that can be achieved. If dragon's idealism is not combined with concrete action, dragon can turn into an indolent, discontented daydreamer who pays little attention to practicality and reality. Regardless of gender, dragon tends to marry late in life, if at all, since he is unwilling to let go of dreams and adventures to live within the confines of an ordinary domestic life. Dragon tends not to pay attention to details because he possesses a regal quality. Someone else can take care of the petty stuff in life. Dragon believes that he is born for something on a grander scale. Many dragons succeed in the world of entertainment. One of dragon's faults may be that he sometimes says or does things impulsively. This often causes social blunders. Another difficulty for dragon is that life experiences are very intense because dragon wears the horns of destiny. There are no casual friendships for dragon. Every interaction is a continuation of heavy past life karma that must be resolved now. It is as if 10 lifetimes are being lived out in the current incarnation. Dragon child and parent. A dragon child is born to lead and to accomplish great things. An independent and able to take care of himself child, he will not require constant supervision. He needs room to grow and explore, and a playground is dragon child's perfect spot on earth. This child will not blossom if left in a small room to play quietly. Because dragon is greatly affected by past life karma, childhood events and relations with parents and siblings are often intense. If sibling rivalry occurs, dragon child must be kept in check and not be allowed to bully other children. If born during a storm, the child's path is extreme, either positive or negative. Being born during pouring rain augurs financial prosperity. The high-spirited dragon child is an innovator. Forceful, fearless, and vibrant, nothing will daunt his idealistic outlook on life. He will formulate his own principles early and will need to or ask for very little help. Respectful of his elders, he will obey commands precisely. This intense child needs to anchor his passions to something, or something he considers worthy of his devotion. He will have countless idols, his teachers, his parents, or anyone else he regards highly. He is bright, aggressive, and independent. Tough and resilient, he can take teasing or shoving around because he is willing and ready to fight for his rights. Outspoken and ambitious, he should be given responsibility in order to keep him occupied and make him feel useful. He could turn the most menial assignment into a task worthy of a medal. However, he should not be allowed to bully less assertive children. His domineering ways must be checked at an early age. The dragon child must be made to feel appreciated. He earns his integrity and would honestly prefer that you needed him instead of just loved him. His efforts are always sincere and should be praised, as he will work very hard to please you and gain your respect. Never bruise his ego by laughing at him, even if he goes around performing a simple chore as if it were some intricate ritual or important mission. The dragon's self-esteem is immeasurable. His dreams of greatness are all real and tangible to him. In life, his emotions will touch soaring heights and unfathomable depths. If he fails at anything, he has to be reassured that the sun will shine again the next day. He judges himself very harshly. Once he realizes his mistake, there will be no need for you to reproach or punish him, as he will be the first to chastise himself and make amends. If your child is a dragon, he will want or maybe even demand that you rely on him and will do his best never to disappoint you. This self-reliant youngster will be strong and faithful to his ideals. He was born to lead and excel. The dragon child needs, above all, for you to be proud of him. It will prove that his parents could not have placed their trust in a more worthy person. The dragon parent is generous to his children, denying them nothing and could spoil them. This outpouring of love and support masks a stern, authoritarian, and overprotective side. Firm dragon can discipline strong-willed children, such as tiger sons, monkeys of both genders, and horse daughters. The same rules of compatibility apply as for dragon relationships. Dragon is most harmonious with rat, dragon, monkey, and phoenix children, who enjoy the fun outdoor activities the dragon parent plans for them. Tiger, hare, serpent, and sheep children can enjoy the security and amusement offered by a dragon parent. Although ox, horse, and dog children may feel misunderstood, the dragon parent will strive to be fair with them. The following material comes from the Handbook of Chinese Horoscopes, 7th edition, by Theodora Lau and Laura Lau, published by Harper Books, New York, U.S., copyrighted by the estate of Theodora Lau and Laura Lau Karmakar in 2010. The fifth sign of the lunar cycle, the dragon. The dragon is also referred to in traditional Chinese celestiology texts as the visionary. This is the visionary song. I am the unquenchable fire, the center of all energy, the stout, heroic heart. I am truth and light. I hold power and glory in my sway. My presence disperses dark clouds. I have been chosen to tame the fates. I am the dragon. The sign of the dragon rules the 2-hour segment of the day from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Persons born during this time are said to have the dragon as their ascendant and will display many of the characteristics common to this sign and have great affinity for dragons. The dragon personality. The mighty and magnificent dragon of mythical folklore never ceases to enchant us or stir our imaginations. So it must be said that some of its magical qualities, illusory or not, are contained in those born under its sign. The dragon person is magnanimous and full of vitality and strength. To him, life is a blaze of colors, and he is constantly on the go. Egotistical, eccentric, dogmatic, whimsical, or terribly demanding and unreasonable, he is still never without a band of admirers. Proud, aristocratic, and very direct, the dragon-born establishes his ideals early in life and demands the same high standards from others that he has set for himself. In China, the formidable dragon symbolizes the emperor or male. The indestructible phoenix is the symbol of the empress or female. Those born in the dragon year are said to wear the horns of destiny, which represent power and duty. A dragon child will tend to assume burdens and responsibilities even if she or he happens to be the youngest one in the family. Often, older dragon children can bring up their younger siblings with more authority than their parents. The dragon is a veritable storehouse of energy. His impetuosity, eagerness, and almost religious zeal can blaze like the fabled fire the dragon emits from his mouth. He has the potential for accomplishing great things, which is fortunate as the dragon likes to perform on a grand scale. However, unless he contains his enthusiasm, he may burn himself out and end up in a puff of smoke. He is the most likely of the signs to become fanatical over an issue. Whatever the dragon does, good or bad, he will never fail to make headlines. The Chinese call him the guardian of wealth and power. This is certainly a prosperous sign to belong to. But then again, the dragon is the sign most prone to megalomania. He just does not take defeat gracefully. The powerful dragon is difficult to oppose, at times even impossible. He tends to intimidate those who dare to challenge him. An angry, spurned dragon could be like the big bad wolf at your door. He'll huff and he'll puff until he blows your house down, and you can believe he will. But the dragon is likely to be loyal to his loved ones despite his strong temper and dogmatic ways. Whatever differences he or she may have with the family will be forgotten or set aside when they call for help. The dragon can put aside resentments and come to the rescue promptly. However, his family can also count on a severe lecture from him once the crisis is over. The dragon seldom minces words. He cites his views as if they were imperial edicts. Although he may rave about the virtues of free speech and democracy, don't buy it. He feels himself to be above the law and doesn't always practice what he preaches. Sometimes being civil, affectionate, or honey-tongued can be a terrible strain on the dragon. He would much rather be rough, rude, and utterly inconsiderate when provoked. But don't try to give him the same medicine. Somehow it just doesn't work, unless you happen to be another dragon and decide to do battle. Then we can all sit back and watch magnificent fireworks that will make the 4th of July look like candles on a birthday cake. In spite of his volcano of emotions, the dragon is not sentimental, overly sensitive, or very romantic. He takes love and adulation for granted. They're just his due. But while he may be stubborn, irrational, and overbearing when irked, the dragon can forgive you the moment he gets over his outburst. And since things are supposed to work both ways, he expects your forgiveness for his errors as well. He may even neglect to apologize at times, which may seem callous, but then the dragon really has no time to explain himself. He doesn't see the need for it anyway, or be bothered by grudges or trifles. He just wants to get back on with his work. While the dragon may be strong and decisive, he is not cunning or manipulative. He shuns easy adaptability and tricky negotiations. When the contest is to be decided on strength alone, the dragon will conquer hands down. Often, though, he is overconfident, brash, and deluded by his wonderful visions and neglects to pay attention to potential upsets or underhanded plots that could overcome him. Instead of sniffing around to nose out what schemes might be brewing, he prefers to plunge right out into battle, refusing to retreat even in the face of overwhelming odds. Too proud, he disdains calls for assistance. Too sure, he rarely keeps anything in reserve. Too intent on going forward, he forgets to protect his rear and flanks. Too upright, he refuses to lie or compromise. Further, he is unable to decipher information presented indirectly, as in clever innuendos and insinuations. He also generally fails to spot the evil and subversive intent of his enemies. Dragon person, having a purpose or special mission in life is essential. He must always have a cause to fight for, a goal to reach, a right to wrong. Otherwise, how can he keep that inner fire burning? Without his pet projects, rallies, and other impossible schemes, the dragon is like a locomotive without fuel. He fizzles out and becomes dull and listless. The dragon has the same affinity for success as the snake, but because he expresses his views more openly and his failures are more likely to involve some form of physical exertion, he's usually spared deep psychological problems. Being a doer, he will take to one-man crusades, lead demonstrations, write letters to the newspapers, or collect 1 million signatures on a petition. This method of belching fire and brimstone effectively rids him of any inner neurosis that could result otherwise. Dragon Lady is the grand dame of the cycle. She will be a suffragette, a believer of equal rights for women. Double standards and discrimination will arouse her wildest passions and greatest anger. What a man can do, she can probably do better. Don't underestimate her. She is determined to beat you at your own game, or die trying. She'll never stand idly by and accept her fate. She is the stuff empires are built on, the matriarch of old. Cross her, and the sky will fall. To tell the truth, the dragon female is strictly a no-nonsense person. She will show this by the way she dresses. Practical, functional clothes appeal to her most. No frills, flimsy laces, buttons, or bows. Clothes that go on and off easily and provide her with maximum comfort and movement will be her choice. She hates unnecessary restrictions and limitations. Actually, she may even secretly prefer a uniform if she has military or institutional inclinations. This way, starched, crisp, and superbly efficient, she can pop off to work every day without the bother of having to decide what to wear. Female dragons make excellent teachers and can inspire others to follow their example. Being natural educators and instructors, they are always clear about what they want from others and how things should be done. The dragon girl seldom, if ever, overdecorates herself. Her brilliance lies in her mind, and this will shine forth without any adornment. Dragons have very high self-esteem, and the dragon female is no exception. She doesn't expect to be treated like royalty, but close to it. She just wants your respect, and she will do everything in her power to get it. The lady dragon is totally emancipated, and, you might as well know, she never doubts the rightness of her cause, so strong-arm tactics will get you nowhere. Resign yourself, she will have the last word. Despite having faults as numerous as virtues, the luster of the dragon shines on everyone. He is not petty, nor does he begrudge favors. He may grumble a lot, but he cannot resist helping the needy or coming to the rescue of those in trouble. This may not be because he feels real compassion or even genuine concern. More often than not, the dragon helps out because he has a profound sense of duty to all. Somehow, the dragon will always have a notable contribution to make. You can count on his support, for he will not let you down if he can help it. The dragon will exhaust all his resources before he admits failure. An extrovert and lover of nature, this person will be an active sportsman, an inveterate traveler, and an excellent talker. He has the makings of a super salesman, and he and his band of loyal followers will always be promoting something. The weather at the time of a dragon's birth will greatly affect his life. A child born during a storm will lead a tempestuous and hazardous life beset by danger or spectacular experiences. One born on a day when the sea, his ancestral home, and the heavens are calm, will have a protected existence and a more amiable nature. The dragon native will either marry young or prefer to remain single. He can be happy leading a solitary life, as his work and career will keep him occupied. He will seldom lack friends or admirers to keep him company. The dragon is not a spendthrift, but he's not a miser either. He is generous with money, but never too concerned about his finances, unless he happens to have a money-making ascendant like the rooster or the rat. This person is super positive. Nothing will keep him down for long, and even when he has a bad case of the doldrums, he will snap out of it faster than anyone else. His buoyancy often defies rhyme or reason. For a sign that never accepts defeat, the dragon provides his own worst opposition. He will dash headlong into a disastrous situation when he is convinced he is right. Pompous and self-destructive, you say? No, not really. It's just that this person must follow his plans and ideals regardless of the consequences. After all, he was put on earth to raise standards to superlative heights, and the more you try to change his course of action or steer him away from trouble, the more headstrong he may become. He lives up to his reputation for taking the lead even when matters become most unpleasant. Whatever else, the dragon will be an open person. You can read him like a book. It is difficult for him to pretend emotions he does not feel. He rarely even bothers to try. He is not secretive either and cannot keep a confidence for long. Even when he swears not to breathe a word, he will blurt it out when he gets angry and sparks begin to fly. You say he promised to keep it a secret? What secret? How can you bother him with such a trivial thing at a time like this? His feelings are genuine and always straight from the heart. When he declares he loves you, you can be absolutely sure he is sincere. Should he belong to the rougher variety of dragons, he could be very abrasive. His direct, brusque manners and callousness could well antagonize people, but generally speaking, he will inspire action. Things he wants done immediately should be attended to personally, not in writing or over the phone. His presence provides the magnetism to swing people over to his way of thinking. He motivates everyone he comes into contact with. He'll need no motivation. He is more than capable of generating his own momentum. It will never be hard to place your confidence in the truth-loving dragon. He seldom wavers, cowers, or shifts responsibility. He possesses little or no self-doubt. With his natural pioneering spirit, his endeavors will either be stupendous successes or unbelievable exercises in futility. He must drive to the very edge of the precipice and take a good look for himself. Just hold your breath, keep your fingers crossed, and pray that he has good breaks. Frank Sinatra was a dragon, and his song My Way concisely sums up how the dragon ticks. Of all the animal signs, the dragon will be attracted most to the irresistible monkey. The monkey will be similarly drawn to the dragon's majesty, and they will make an unbeatable team. A dragon-rat union will be an equally winning combination, as the rat is crafty while the dragon is strong. They can do great things together. The dragon will likewise make a good match with the cool and venerable snake, whose wisdom could check the dragon's excessiveness. Tiger, rooster, horse, sheep, rabbit, and boar will all seek the dragon out for his beauty and strength. Two dragons will get along pretty well, but the dragon's relationship with the ox may be a bit strained by the ox's similar authoritiveness. Of all the animal signs, perhaps only the dog will make a miserable partner for the dragon. The dragon will come under the close scrutiny of the dog, and the dog will be too cynical to fall under the dragon's spell. The dog could be a pain in the dragon's rear end, as the egalitarian dog demands equality and justice for all, and when he checks the scales, he may find the dragon tipping them arbitrarily in his own favor without even realizing. Sometimes the dragon sees himself as just a little more equal than most, and this really raises the hackles of our fair-minded dog. Above all, it is worth remembering that although the dragon is dazzling, he is not always deep. Only when he can harness his legendary powers can he perform the miracles he is famous for. He needs people to believe in him. The following information comes from Cosmic Astrology, an east-west guide to your internal energy persona by Mantak Chia and William Yu Wei, published and copyrighted in 2012 by Destiny Books in Rochester, Vermont, US. I do not own the following content. The Year of the Dragon. Positive traits: enthusiasm, sentimentality, strength, pluck, success, and good health. Shortcomings: braggadocio, rigidity, volubility, mistrust, infatuation, dissatisfaction. It is strange that the other 11 animals in the Chinese Zodiac can be observed in nature, or at least in the zoo or on the Nature Channel. This creature must be very special, and dragon people know that they are indeed very special. What a proud, self-assured personage is the dragon. Just think of Tolkien's dragon Smaug from his famous book The Hobbit. The trouble is that the dragon's sometimes violent and tyrannical side can be their downfall. Like the tiger, dragon is born with an innate authority, and like the tiger, dragon can be brought down by authority's double-edged sword. Authority, even inborn authority, must be used judicially. Dragon people can find an equal intelligence in matchups with monkey people or rat people. In the West, dragons are generally seen to be evil worms bent on destruction and murder. In the East, however, dragons are divine bearers of good fortune. They are fierce and steadfast guardians. It's not unusual to see dragons wrapped around the pillars of a Kuan Yin chapel or temple. In Michel Endy's fascinating book, The Never-Ending Story, one of the protagonists is Falkor, a genial luck dragon who devotes himself to the young hero Atreyu. Falkor lives those strong dragon traits of enthusiasm, pluck, and bravery. In the Chinese New Year parades, the dragon is the leader because he leaves a trail of wealth, virtue, harmony, and long life. Let's join the parade. Dragons are natural show-offs, and with good reason. They have a lot to show. And they are veritable energy sources. So much energy must be managed wisely to benefit Dragon's magnificent body, challenging intellect, and soaring spirit. If you are at a large gathering, you'll spot the dragon people right away by their elegance and flamboyance and splendor. Rat people, boar people, and rabbit people are good partners for the fiery, passionate dragon people. In China, dragon was a symbol for the all-powerful emperor. What can really do a dragon in is the predilection for bragging, born out of a morbid and deep self-absorption. This vanity is a clear indication for dragon people to take some distance and to make a huge leap and smile and laugh at the absurdity of such narcissistic self-admiration. The dragon is a ready candidate for the Universal Healing Tao's advanced practices of Kan and Li. In popular fantasy, representations of dragons are known to inhabit dark, treasure-laden caves deep in remote mountains. The Tao Garden in northern Thailand offers dark room retreats led by Master Mantak Chia. In the days and weeks of total darkness and silence, dragon people can enrich body, mind, and spirit with the three true treasures as revealed by Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching: compassion, frugality, and humility. All is possible with these indisputably wonderful monarchs of the Chinese Zodiac.